Hello guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about this Freedom Munitions 150 grains, okay? And I already did another video on the 147 grains, okay? But you listen, 150 grains, it's in a whole different universe, guys. We gotta talk about this. This is good. So first of all, let's talk about some accuracy, kind of get that out of the way. I am shooting with a red dot and a magnifier at 100 yards, right? So this is the Holosun 510C, a 2-way circle dot with the Vortex 6X magnifier. Now, I want to tell you guys, first of all, I do have astigmatism, and what happens is a lot of times, like, I got to turn my head to like make the 3 dots turn into 1 dot. Okay, when I shoot with a scope, that's not an issue. Okay, but now what I mean, you might say, hey, why am I shooting with the red dot magnifier? Well, basically, this is the battle rifle configuration. This is a lot faster. So basically, I've been testing out this Palmetto AR-10 in the battle rifle configuration, and this type of ammunition is ideal for that because you can buy this in bulk. Okay, you can get this 400 rounds at a time. I ordered, I think I'm up to something like 1,500 rounds. I mean, yeah, this stuff here is going to be better, but how many people out there have, like, I don't know, 2,000 rounds of this stuff sitting on the shelf? This stuff, you know, like, because here you got $30 a box, here you got $17 a box. This is stuff that you can stockpile. Okay, so with the 150 grains, okay, I was shooting this last night, shooting it today. Okay, so I forget about last night because it was starting to get dark and my groups opened up a little bit. Today I had a little bit more sunlight when I was shooting this a little while ago. Because last night I was at dusk, I was averaging about 2 inches at 100 yards. Today, with a little bit more sunlight, I'm doing 5-shot groups, right? So I got these 5 shots here. Here, what I did is I put my dot underneath the bullseye, right? And up here, I put my dot on top of the bullseye, okay? So on these 5 shots here, I've got this 4-shot cluster here of 1 inch, okay? And then with that 5th shot over there, right? With the 5th shot, I'm at 2 1/4 inches, okay? And it's hard to tell that there's a good chance that was me because, like I said, when I'm looking through the scope, I see a starburst. I got to move my head around to try and get it, you know, make the 3 dots turn into 1 dot. So with a red dot hitting 1 inch, that's 1 MOA ammunition, right? No doubt about it, okay? I shot it again over here, again with the dot on top of the scope, on top of the bullseye. And I got 3 shots, 1 inch, but hey, I look at 4 shots. So the 4-shot cluster, 4 out of 5 shot, I got 1 1/4 inches. So we're seeing that 1 1/4 inch consistency. And then with the 5th shot over there, which is probably me, we're again at 2 1/4 inches, okay? So that's like 2 groupings back to back, you know, total of 10 shots. I mean, this is good stuff, okay? And again, we're shooting with a red dot, basically. Wait until we get a scope on this gun, guys. This is good stuff. This is stuff that you guys need to stockpile, okay? And I've been shooting lots of different ammunition. I've done videos on other ammunition. This stuff, for the money that you're paying, $17 a box, 18 cents or something, $17 and some small change. This is good stuff. Now, I ran it through the chronograph, okay? Now, I did run the 147 grains, and I also ran the 150 grains today. Guys, let me tell you something, man. 147 grains, 150. The 150 grains is way hotter. Where's my book? It's over there. I'll take off the glasses so I can see better. Okay. So I started shooting this last night through the chronograph. And let me tell you, running this stuff through a chronograph in the wintertime is really hard because in order for the chronograph to work, it needs sunlight basically almost right on top of it. And this time of year, freaking January, the sun basically never rises above like 30 degrees. So even in the middle of the day, on a day like this that has no clouds, I'm getting very little sunlight directly on top of this. Okay, so basically I had to go through like boxes and boxes of this, like basically, you know, and I had to move to different locations. And of course, because of that angle, the trees were casting shadows as the sun was moving. Man, that was work. Okay, but I did get some really nice runs. So this is starting last night over here, right? And I'm going to show you the book because this is too much shit to write. Let me see if I can get behind the camera, put this into focus. Okay, so you can see my crap. So this is with the 150 grains. These are I'm doing 5-shot groups, okay? Okay, that's the lowest. That's the highest. There's your average. That is the energy, 2551. Variance of 41, right? That's the difference between the fastest and the lowest, okay? So that's a really tight, right? That's why we're getting these tight groups, because the variance here is really like 40. That's usually what I see with the match grade ammunition, okay? And the momentum's 59, okay? So today I'm running it. And today, for whatever reason, like they were grouping even higher. So again, 5-shots groups. Now we're in the 2800s today. Now this came in the same box, but this, like, for example, I think there was something like 12 of these in a box that they came in, but all these groupings were out of the same box. So that might be the reason why, like yesterday, the box I was using yesterday, which was with 150 grains, was averaging 2767, and today, like, I hit a group where I'm averaging 2800. So that might have been just a hotter box for whatever reason. So I opened up one box today. These are the numbers I'm getting. The variance got even tighter, right? So the difference between the fastest and the lowest was 36 feet per second total. Energy 2671. That's hot. Okay, momentum about 60.69. Okay, I look at the momentum numbers because that tells you how hard this stuff is punching. And when you're considering this stuff as anti-material, that momentum number counts for a lot. Okay, so I said, you know what? I kind of got worried. I'm like, because here's the thing. Let me just show you guys the 147 grains. Okay, because you would think that the 147 grains, which have a lighter bullet, would be running at a slower velocity, right? But that's not the case. The 150 grains are actually running at a higher velocity. You know, and I'm shooting this through a 20-inch Palmetto AR-10. Okay, this thing's at least up to about 200 rounds at this point. So it's, you know, it's not that I even had a problem. A lot of times with some companies, they say that the gun needs a braking period. This Palmetto was shooting great from the first round I shot. The main thing that with these AR-10s, they must have an adjustable gas system. Okay, they must, and not just like 3 positions. This one has 17. Okay, the Palmetto AR-10 has the Gen 3 has 3 slots per turn. Okay, per turn, so it's a total of 17 positions. I'm in position 5 of 17. You know, from the bottom, right? So I went all the way down, closed it, and I came up 5. And what that does is when I shoot Tula, which of the stuff I shot is like the least powerful, it ejects Tula at 4 o'clock, and then this Freedom Munition is ejecting at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, somewhere around there. So you gotta have an adjustable gas system, and you're gonna see it here right now, because between the velocities that this is running at versus Tula, there's a humongous difference, right? If you don't have there's no way that you can build a gun that doesn't have an adjustable gas system that's going to be able to cycle these gigantic differences that 308 has. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about the 147 grain Freedom Munitions. The stuff I shot this last week. So again, let's take a quick peek at the velocities on the 150 grain, right, that we were just talking about. We're basically in the 2800s, you know, high 27s here, 28s. We see 28s down here. Okay, that's with the 150 grain. So let's go back to the 147 grain. So with the 147 grain, look at the numbers. So we're averaging like 2782, which is giving us an energy of 2527. Okay, compared to 2671 energy on the 150 grain. So the 100 and again, look at the velocity, 2800 on the heavier 150 grain, okay, versus the 147 grain, which is like 2782. So it's actually coming out a little bit slower. And I ran this. That's the Vepr. I ran it. The Freedom Munitions in the Vepr that had a 6. You know what? Let's not confuse ourselves with the 6-inch barrels. Let's stick with the 20-inch barrels. So I ran here American Sniper. Okay, that's coming in at 2671. Right, you can see that's 149 grains. You can see the velocities here. So again, it can, because of the different bullet weights, it can get confusing. That's why you gotta really look at the energy, right, which basically takes into account the bullet weight and the velocity. So over here with the 147 grains, we got 2527 energy. When we went to the American Sniper, okay, with again on a 20-inch barrel, we got 2361. That's a huge difference. That's almost like 200 foot-pounds of difference. That's like the difference of like a 38 special in there, right? And then when I shot the Tula on this side, the Tula, now the Tula, mind you, was 150 grains. Okay, it's coming at average velocity 2409, energy of 1933. So we've actually dipped below 2000. Okay, so the Tula and the 20-inch barrel with 150 grains is 1933 energy compared to the 2671 energy. So there's like 600 foot-pounds of energy. Okay, the difference between the 150 grain Tula, okay, all right, and this Freedom Munitions 150 grain, 600 foot-pounds of energy. That's like a 44 Magnum, like a difference of a 10 millimeter. That's how much difference the energy variation can be. And you know what? If you go to the hunting ammunition, because for the hunters, they shoot a lot of bolt action rifles. A lot of times they power it even lower for them, so they don't hurt their vaginas. So, for the bolt action shooters, just kidding, guys. But if you get the soft points, the hunting ammunition, that's probably going to run even less, even slower, even less energy. So if you're going to build an AR-10 that shoots 308 with these humongous 600 foot-pound of energy variances, you absolutely must have an adjustable gas system. Otherwise, if you buy like an AR-10 that doesn't have an adjustable, or any semi-automatic 308, what you gotta do is you gotta buy a whole bunch of different ammunition, right, and see which one is going to shoot good in your AR-10, right, or any other semi-automatic 308. You gotta shoot a whole bunch of them, right, and then figure out which one is going to cycle, which one's not going to blow out the primers. Because one of the things I've been doing is I've been collecting, the spent cases, right, and I've been looking at the primers. What I'm looking for is basically blown out primers or punched out primers. Yeah, and I've looked at almost every single primer, almost every case that's come out of this gun. I mean, they're all good. They're all good. I mean, Palmetto built this gun right. And now, again, I'm in gas position 5 at the bottom out of 17. I'm sure if I opened up that gas valve and brought it up to 17, let's say, I'm sure that these primers would start getting punched out. Okay, so your AR-10 must have an adjustable gas system. I saw one video online of a guy that he had the Palmetto AR-10 and he was getting the primers punched out. I don't know if he had an earlier generation, because I think the generation 1 was not adjustable, or at least to this extent. So I don't know if he had an earlier one that was not adjustable, or if he didn't know how to adjust it or whatever. But there was one dude that had a Palmetto and he was getting his primers punched out. And there's another video I saw this morning. The guy had, it was actually, who was it? Brass Facts. Okay, I think he just uploaded it this morning. He had a, what the fuck is that? The one they call the Poverty Pony. I forgot what the name of it is. Anderson. He had an Anderson AR-10, okay? The guy, I don't care what people say. If the gun shoots, it shoots. But the problem is that it did not, from what I could see, it didn't have an adjustable gas system, and his primers were getting punched out, and they were actually getting punched out, and they were ending up inside of the gun, and they ended up jamming up the gun. So your AR-10 must have an adjustable gas system, and not like 3 or 4 or 5 positions, like I think like Ruger SFAR does, okay? It's got to have like 17 or more, okay? You know, now I'm pretty close. I'm at 5 of 17. I mean, if I got even more powerful at me, because I don't know how at how high on the spectrum this is, but if I had even higher ammunition, like I only got like 5 more positions I can go down until I'm completely closed. So I'm thinking it would be nice if like this had 20 positions, and I don't know, somewhere between 5 and 0 where I'm at now, I had even more choices. But anyway, the gun's working fine. This seems, you know, I have a 20-inch AR because here's the thing. Normally, when I look at energies, right, the energies that I'm usually, or rather the velocities, when I look at the velocities that are typically posted from the manufacturers for 308 ammunition, right, they say it's at 2800, but from what I've been told, that's for a 24-inch barrel. That's what I've been told, okay? So I'm actually peaking out here at like 2800, 2832 average, okay? I'm peaking out at 2832 on a 20-inch barrel, okay? So I suspect I'm like at the very high end, and the gun seems to be, because of that adjustable gas system, it's handling it fine, okay? Now, if your gun doesn't have an adjustable gas system, right, or if you have an older AR-10 or some other gun, you may want to get the 147 grains versus the 150 grains that I'm shooting, right? Because what I see here, right, from running this through the chronograph, the 147 grains are definitely hitting lighter. Let me get behind the, you know, they're definitely yielding less energy. Okay, so where are we? 147 grains. Actually, I think I showed it to you before. I forgot. Let's take a quick look at it. So let's stick with the 20-inch. So we got, with the 147 grains, 2782 on a 20-inch barrel, 2527. Okay, let's come down here. Now this is with the American Sniper. We've got, there's 149 grains, right? That's like way down, 2361, right? Energy. Okay, that's the Vepr. Let's not look at the Vepr because that's a 16-inch barrel. I mean, if you guys have a 16-inch barrel, you can look at it. Okay, so that's what the Vepr does. If you got a 16-inch, the 147 grain is going to give you 2675, 2336 foot-pounds of energy. If you got a 16-inch and you're shooting the American Sniper, you're getting an average velocity of 2443, and then your energy is below 2000. It's going to be 1975 energy. Okay. All right. So with the Tula 308, 150 grains on a 20-inch, I'm getting velocity 2409, energy 1933. If you have a 16-inch, this is on my Vepr, on my 16-inch Vepr. That's with the Tula, velocity 2268, energy 1714. So really dropped there. Okay, again, this is on the 16-inch. So now again, this is Freedom Munitions on the 20-inch. Showed it to you guys before. We've got average velocity 2767. These are the actual numbers here. So if you want to, you can see the variances, right? So one of the things I noticed is that with the 147 grain, I don't know if it was a fluke, but initially I had a pretty big variance. The variance was like 157. Again, when I shot it, the American Sniper had a variance of 119. So this 150 grain seems to be giving me like average variances of, here yesterday was 41 here, right? In the 5-shot group, the speed between the fastest and slowest bullets. Today I had 36, okay, with the 150 grain. Okay, so again, those are the individual numbers. Energy 2671, momentum 60. And then what's this? So here's what happened. I said, you know what? It's kind of weird that, why is the 147 grain seem like it's like, actually the velocity is actually slower. You would expect it to go fast. So I'm thinking maybe I mixed up the boxes or something. So I pulled out the 147 grains again, and I ran it through the chronograph just to verify. And yet I can verify today that when I shot the 147 grains, and this is through Freedom Munitions, it's actually running slower than the 150 grains. Okay, so again, now this is Freedom Munitions, 147 grain in the 20-inch barrel, 2720. Okay, Okay, energy 2415. Make sure you guys are still on the camera. And then what did I run here? Then I went back to the 50 grain. I shot that again. So again, I'm averaging. I did 5-shot group. This is again in a different box. I'm averaging 2795. I didn't calculate the variance on this, but it looks like the fastest bullet was 2825. Oh yeah, and the slowest one is I guess that one, 2784. So if you look at these velocities, like you're gonna have, like you see a whole bunch of, like, 2787, 2784, 2791, 2787, right? And then you see a big jump here, 2825, right? So you see how you got like 4 bullets, and then you see one that's like way different. So same thing here. I got 2841, 2840, 2847. Okay, all right. And then you got like 2811, 2820. So that explains like why you can do a 5-shot group, right? And you're gonna have like 3 bullets that are like really close to each other, or 4 bullets that are really close to each other, and then like one that's way out there, right? So that's because of the differences in those velocities, right? You can see it when you run it through a chronograph. You can see it on the paper, because I've been, like, here's the thing. When I shoot, basically I put my dot under here and it looks like this. Boom, 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 pretty much. Okay, I'm pretty good now. One of the things I've done to improve my accuracy is I put a bubble level on all my ARs that when I do precision shooting, and that makes a big difference, because if you cant the gun at 100 yards, that'll easily move your bullet 2 inches one way or 2 inches the other way. So you gotta have your gun level, and you can't just go based on the landscapes, right? Because the ground is crooked. Okay, the table is crooked. So you gotta level off your gun to gravity and be consistent to gravity, not to the shape of the earth or the table. Now, one of the things is, like, in the past, when I was shooting AR-15s, I never had a bubble level on it. I was still able to get mostly consistent groups. Sometimes I would, they would jump all over the place, and it was because of that cant. But what I have found is with the AR-15, even if you hold the gun crooked, right? Even if you have the gun canted, okay, usually you can take 5 shots, boom, 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 without you getting thrown out of the scope, okay? So even if the gun's canted, you can throw all 5 bullets with that same cant. With the 308, because the recoil is more, what's going to happen is when you take that shot, it throws you a little bit. The gun lifts up a little bit more, and you have to basically reset yourself. Okay, and because of that reset, okay, if you pretty much have to check your bubble level between your shots, because the recoil of the 308 might actually make you change your cant. Okay, so that's one of the things I figured out. Like I never used the bubble level until I started shooting 308s on a regular basis, right? And that's the reason, because 308 is going to throw you back a little bit more. It's going to lift up more. You got to basically level off so that you're consistently shooting with the same cant. So anyway, so one of my concerns was that, hey, maybe I had mixed up the ammunition and I was shooting 147 grains when I thought I was, and that's why I went and I did this again. I ran everything through the chronograph again. I actually went and I opened up new boxes, right? Because I said maybe I mixed up. Nah, it's true. The 150 grains have a faster velocity than the 147 grains in this Freedom munition. Okay, let me show you some more numbers here. So here I threw like another. I took 2 shots here, because again the sun was going down and I was having problems getting readings. So again, I'm averaging 2715, energy 2407. Okay, 150 grains, average 2795. Energy 2603. Okay, so there's again over here the 147 grains, right? 147 grains, velocity 2720, energy 2415, right? So we got like 2 over here. The 147 grains in the velocities are like in the 2700s, right? And then the 150 grains the velocities are like in the 2800s. Okay, so the 150 grains are at a faster velocity. Now, coupled with the heavier bullet, the 150 grain bullet, you know, that's why we're getting energies in the 2600s, right? Low 26, high 26 there, versus like 2400s here. Okay. So let me tell you guys, this free munition, 150 grains, hot stuff, man. It's good. Now, I'm not saying hot stuff as in terms of like the overpressured. And again, the way you're gonna know is you're gonna check your primers, make sure they're not getting blown out. What I don't want to happen is I don't want ammunition manufacturers, okay, to make less powerful ammunition to accommodate weaker guns. Okay, I don't want that. What I want is I want powerful ammunition, and I want the gun manufacturers to make stronger, better guns. Okay, so I want velocities of 2800 out of my 150 grain bullet. So this is great. This is great ammunition. I just got an order of 800 of these 150 grains. I'm gonna get more. Okay. If Free Munitions is watching this, the reason why I'm getting all this ammunition from you guys is because of the holiday free shipping, right? So keep sending out that free shipping, and that's the reason why I initially bought it from you guys, because I think it was $5 flat rate shipping. I bought my first 400 rounds from you guys, and then what happened is I went to buy more, and it was you guys weren't, Free Munitions was not running it, so I ended up going over to American Sniper. I got that ammunition, which turned out to be not too bad. But I'm saying the free shipping or low, that makes a difference, okay? And also the bargain prices on the ammunition itself, because I look at both. I don't just look at like the price and not look at the shipping, or look at the shipping and not look at the price. I look at both of them, okay? Unlike a lot of other channels out there that get free stuff, I don't get free anything from anybody, okay? I pay for everything out of my pocket, okay? So for those of you guys watching me, I want you guys to know I pay for everything. Nobody gives me freebies, okay? So that's why I call it like it is. You guys can trust me on that. But this Freedom Munition stuff, good, accurate, nice groups here. We're getting inch and a quarter inch groups here. All right, you know, 1 inch cluster there, inch and a quarter cluster there. And again, that's with a red dot, okay? I haven't even put I got a 5 to 25 scope that's waiting to go on this. So, one of the things I want to talk about, what's the purpose of this battle rifle in a SHTF type of situation? This is anti-material. I've had, 55 grain, 5.56, 223, works great after 500 yards. On soft, fleshy things, that's all you need, okay? But for the Mad Max, Road Warrior, Apocalypse, you need 308. Okay, that's the purpose of the battle rifle. Okay, in today's world. Okay, you need the battle rifle for the Mad Max, Road Warrior, Apocalypse. And I do plan to put on a variable scope on this at some point. My long-term plan is this is the 20-inch. I want to put the 5 to 25 scope on this, and then I want to get a 16-inch Palmetto. Okay, and that's going to get the red dot with the magnifier. Okay, so that's going to, so down the road, when I see Palmetto throw out another good sale, I paid $700 for this gun right here. Okay, so I bought the lower for like $200, had that shipped to the FFL, and then the upper I had shipped to my house for $500. You do it that way because the manufacturer saves on firearms taxes if they send you the low, if they send the lower out separate. So this is a $700 gun right here, right? You know, for the gun itself. That, 17 position adjustable gas valve that's giving me like these 1 MOA groups. This is a good deal, guys. This is if you're into 308s, this is it right here. Palmetto with this Freedom Munition stuff. Talk to you all soon. Drop some comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Hey guys, I wanted to make one quick correction with regards to what I said about the primers potentially getting blown out. I don't know exactly why in the examples I mentioned the primers were getting blown out, because there could be other reasons besides the ammunition. The chamber could be slightly out of spec. The bolt itself, the bolt face might be slightly out of spec. I don't know. Okay. So anytime you get a new gun and you're shooting new ammunition through it, you gotta check the primers to make sure that there's not any signs of overpressure. And like I said, it may not even be the ammunition itself. It might be the chamber of the gun. Maybe it's a little too tight. Maybe it's slightly out of spec or whatever, or the bolt. So I do not know. So I thought I should just make that correction to just clarify things. Okay. Talk to you all soon.